KETV Newswatch 7, chronicling the stories impacting our community. Stories making a difference. Stories that matter to you. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
We're going to have great health care in our country. We're taking a little different route than we had hoped.
What the president's doing does not make sense at all.
The president single-handedly decided to raise America's health premiums for no reason except spite and cruelty.
If it gets too high, I'm afraid that I'm just not going to be able to afford it at all, and that's terrifying.
In a lot of places, they increase their premiums pretty dramatically, 20, 30%, to cover their costs in the event that they don't get reimbursed for these subsidies.
What would be nice if the Democratic leaders could come over to the White House, we'll negotiate some deal that's good for everybody. That's what I'd like.
But so far that hasn't happened, and open enrollment in the health insurance marketplace just opened. Good morning, I'm Rob McCartney. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle. This morning we're taking a deep dive into the rather convoluted topic of Affordable Care Act, making sure that if you rely on it for your coverage, you know what you have to do to get signed up for next year. We're going to be talking with the Vice President of Medica, the only insurance company still in the ACA marketplace in Nebraska and Iowa. And the folks at Nebraska Appleseed will join me answering the top questions you might have about the process itself. First, though, let's take a look at where things stand right now. In mid-October, President Donald Trump took health care matters into his own hands, signing an executive order. The administration says it makes it easier for groups and associations of employers to join together to offer coverage that can work across state lines.
We're going to have a very widely available plan that's going to cost much less. And from the standpoint of the United States government, we will be very happy.
This has long been part of our strategy to try and help Americans get access to more affordable health care, to bring more choice and competition to the marketplace and lower premiums.
Well, Democrats and other critics say dismantling the Affordable Care Act will hurt more than help. But the changes the president proposes may not be finalized in time to affect coverage for next year, maybe not even for 2019. Well, the very next day, President Trump decided to stop paying federally subsidized insurers under the Affordable Care Act. It's a decision that took effect immediately. Under the move, the federal government will no longer pay subsidies that help lower copays and deductibles for many Americans. Industry experts say the move was not unexpected. In fact, insurance companies have been bracing for it. Still, 18 states, including Iowa, filed a lawsuit against the president trying to stop him, but a federal judge ruled against the states. 5 days later, Congress came up with a bipartisan deal. It restores payments to health insurers to keep premiums affordable. But as KETV Newswatch 7's Aixa Diaz reports, President Trump is against it.
Mixed messages from President Trump on a bipartisan deal to steady health insurance markets. Yesterday, he appeared to support the measure.
The solution will be for about a year or 2 years, and it'll get us over this intermediate hump.
Today, he seemed to distance himself from it.
If something can happen, that's fine, but I won't do anything to enrich the insurance companies.
Republican Lamar Alexander and Democrat Patty Murray are the two senators sponsoring the bill. The measure resumes federal subsidies that President Trump halted last week while easing some Obamacare coverage requirements.
The agreement is fair and it's down the middle. As I said, each side gave.
The White House says the bipartisan approach is a step in the right direction, but the bill still doesn't have the president's support.
He wants to lower premiums. He wants to provide greater flexibility. He wants to drive competition. He likes the idea of block grants to states.
Senator Alexander says he will work with the White House and Republican leadership to make adjustments to the measure.
And I'd predict it'll pass in some form before the end of the year.
That was Aixa Diaz reporting. Even if the measure passes in the Senate, faces an uncertain future in the House. Many Republicans there would rather repeal Obamacare, so nothing's been resolved yet. Now, open enrollment started last Wednesday, November 1st, goes through December 15th. You can sign up on the website healthcare.gov. Late last month, Iowa's governor went to D.C. to meet with Vice President Mike Pence and the state's congressional delegation. Governor Kim Reynolds asked for help after the state withdrew its stopgap plan to deal with the Affordable Care Act. It was designed to repair the failing Iowa market for individual health insurance policies by basing premiums on age as well as income. Reynolds says the plan failed because federal rules governing Iowa are too strict.
As I've said, at every time I've talked about the stopgap proposal, this is a short-term solution. We need Congress to repeal and replace. Iowa is the first state of many that are going to be facing the very similar situation that we are.
Iowa, like Nebraska, as we said, now has just one ACA insurance carrier, Medica. But the premiums for Medica customers are expected to jump 30%, maybe up to 56% for next year. Now, Medica is based in Minnesota, and last week we sent a series of questions to Jeff Barsh. He's Vice President of Individual and Family Business there. Medica recorded his answers, sent them back to us. First, we asked, why did Medica stay?
Well, when we entered the Nebraska and Iowa markets back in 2015, we did so with the intention of being here for a long time. When we heard that other carriers were leaving the market, our mindset wasn't really, should we leave too? It was really more, what do we need to do to make sure we can stay? And I'm really proud of the commitment that our company's been able to make to the Nebraska and Iowa consumers that they will have an option for insurance in 2018. Well, it's no secret that the individual market under the ACA has not been a financially successful market for a lot of carriers, including Medica. But we feel like we've learned a lot over these past couple of years. And so with the products that we've brought to market for 2018, the prices that we have, and really, again, our knowledge of the market, we're very confident of our position in 2018. So no, we don't think this is a losing proposition. In fact, if nothing else, this is allowing Medica to really advance and accelerate the impact that we want to have in these markets.
We also wanted to know which types of plans Medica offers.
I think it's important for consumers in the individual market to understand they'll have catastrophic, bronze, silver, gold level options. Gold level options that weren't available to a lot of consumers last year. But we offer both broad network products and also care system specific products in both states. In Nebraska, those products are available to consumers across the state. And in Iowa, consumers have a choice, depending on where they live, of getting either a broad open access tiered network product or care system specific product. Another great resource for people who have questions or just want to get some general information is Medica.com. We've got information up there right now around plan and product options in Nebraska and Iowa. They can search provider networks. They can get a quote or get a sense of what the pricing will be. So we really do encourage people to take a chance and go look and see what's out there. Or they can start the process right now and go to healthcare.gov. And that's where they can get, again, all that product information, find out whether or not they qualify for a subsidy, and be able to actually purchase a plan.
Speaking of purchasing, a major concern is cost and that spike in premiums. So we asked Mr. Barsh about that and whether subsidies would be available.
Premiums are going up in both states and quite frankly across the country. So when we talk about premium increases, that gross premium is going to go up about 30% for a lot of Nebraska consumers and even higher, up to 56% for consumers in Iowa. Those are large increases. And quite frankly, they're not increases that we feel very happy about bringing to the market. But one thing for most consumers that purchase in the individual market to remember is if they're getting a subsidy from the federal government to help buy their coverage, that subsidy is going to continue. And that subsidy is going to grow as much, if not more, than those premium increases. So those consumers are going to be shielded from the impact of that increase. So I've mentioned subsidies a number of times already because they're so important. People need to go to healthcare.gov to see if they qualify. Now, if you've qualified for a subsidy in the past, you're either going to be getting a renewal letter from Medica or a welcome to Medica letter explaining that you have a subsidy and estimate of what that amount is. So if you're getting that letter, you know you have qualified already. So go to healthcare.gov, see if that subsidy's changed. If you don't know if you're getting a subsidy or if you want to see if you qualify, again, go to healthcare.gov and that's where you'll find out if you qualify. We know that there are consumers in both Nebraska and Iowa that didn't qualify for a subsidy in 2017, and they will qualify for that subsidy in 2018. So even if you think you might not qualify, it's worth your time to go and check. The value of those subsidies is substantial. In fact, the subsidies have gotten so high, we know there's thousands of consumers in both Nebraska and Iowa who will qualify for a $0 premium bronze plan this year. Strongly encourage people to go check and see if they qualify. The out-of-pocket costs for consumers are going to vary dramatically based off of what product they're buying. So if we're talking about out-of-pocket premium expenses, again, it'll be based off their purchasing decision this year. If you're talking about the out-of-pocket expenses that are within each of our product offerings, there were some changes and some increases to out-of-pocket costs, particularly out-of-pocket maximums for people, but that situation is going to vary depending on what consumers bought in 2017 versus what they're going to purchase for 2018.
And something new, Nebraska has joined, and Medica has joined with forces with CHI. So we asked them about that program.
We're really excited about the work we've been able to do with CHI Health. We started this relationship and this process going back to last year, and it's really allowed us to bring to market in Nebraska and also in the Council Bluffs part of Iowa a new product where not only is it a lower premium, but also it's a strong partnership between Medica and CHI Health to invest in the consumers who buy that product and make sure we're working together more closely to manage that member's health. I couldn't be more excited about the work that's gone into that partnership. I want to thank CHI Health. They've been a great partner, and we're really looking forward to this partnership existing well into the future.
And we also wanted to know about Medica's commitment to staying in the marketplace in Iowa and Nebraska.
We're absolutely committed to staying in Nebraska and Iowa. Again, I think what we've done this year and the commitment we've made to be able to offer an option to consumers no matter where they live in Nebraska and Iowa is just an example of the company that we are. We came with a commitment to be here for the long haul. That's what we're going to do. We want to be the trusted health plan of choice for both Nebraska and Iowa consumers, and that's our commitment. I want to make sure people can go shop and purchase a plan with confidence. While there's going to be continued conversations about repeal and replace, all the conversations they had this spring and summer and all the conversations they're going to have in the future don't contemplate taking someone's health insurance away from them while they have it. So people will have their coverage for 2018. If Congress does get around to repealing and replacing the ACA, that'd be something that would occur over a number of years. So people, again, need to feel like they can go shop and purchase coverage for 2018 with confidence. That coverage will be there for them.
All right, up next, we're going to talk with the folks who can get you signed up. And last week, we held a phone bank here at 7 Burlington Station. When KATV News Watch 7's Chronicle continues, we're going to get answers to some of your most commonly asked questions.
Hi, everybody. It's November 1st, which means today is the first day to get covered for 2018. Healthcare.gov is open for business right now. You can shop for a health insurance plan that's right for you and your family. It only takes a few minutes, and the vast majority of people qualify for financial assistance. In fact, 8 in 10 people this year can find plans for $75 a month or less. That's cheaper than a lot of cell phone plans. And thanks to the Affordable Care Act, insurance companies can no longer charge you more just for being a woman or for having a pre-existing condition. That's a good thing. It means they have to compete for your business. And with just a few clicks, you can easily compare health insurance plans to find the one that fits what you need. If you don't have insurance, visit healthcare.gov. You've got until December 15th to sign up. If you've already signed up last year, shop around on healthcare.gov anyway. You could save money. And spread the word to make sure everybody knows that it's time to get covered at healthcare.gov. Because this country works best when we look out for one another.
A plea from former President Barack Obama. You're watching KATV News Watch 7's Chronicle. This morning, we're talking about the Affordable Care Act. As you might imagine, there's been a significant amount of confusion surrounding open enrollment, especially with Congress talking about possibly repealing and replacing it. So here to walk us through the process is Eric Saviano. He's with Nebraska Appleseed, the Enroll Nebraska statewide coordinator. Eric, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
First off, we're early into the process. I know it's a short enrollment season. We're early into it. How's enrollment going?
Well, from what I hear from our enrollment assisters around the state, folks are getting enrolled already. Mm-hmm. They're excited about it, and they're looking at their options.
What do people need to know about open enrollment?
Well, everybody needs to know that open enrollment is actually happening. It sounds like we've already heard that Medica is that provider in our state, but folks need to know that the enrollment dates for us this year are going to be shortened. It's going to be November 1st through December 15th, which is only 45 days instead of 90. And you should definitely go back, like the gentleman from Medica said, and take a look at your options, no matter what you've seen in years past.
Right, and some of those options, I understand there's still 4 plans. There's catastrophic, and then basically the metals, bronze, silver, and gold, right?
Yes. Yes.
What's the difference in all that?
Yeah, so for folks under 30, you can purchase a catastrophic plan that is going to be low cost, high deductible. And then for folks, anyone else, you can purchase all 3 metal levels, and those will allow you a range of different options for premiums, different deductible levels, probably different networks and different medications that are provided under those plans. So they are another way for folks to take a look at your options, and they're also different costs. So it should fit your budget, should fit your needs.
Gotcha. Now, you have to have health insurance if you can afford it, correct? And it's still a requirement.
That's right.
And there's a penalty if you don't get it. And from what I understand, it's 2.5%. The penalty is 2.5% of your income, or you can go per person up to like $2,000 for a penalty. Is that enough, you think, to get people motivated to sign up?
Well, what we do know is that 84,000 folks in the state did sign up for health insurance through the marketplace last year. Of those, 91% of them got insurance subsidies, like they were talking about as well. Mm-hmm. The penalty is one reason to sign up for health insurance coverage, but we know Nebraskans really value that coverage with 84,000 signing up. We hope they will take that step for another reason, which is protecting themselves and their families. But if it takes the fine, then hope that will motivate them too.
Right, if it takes a hammer, you know,
yeah.
to motivate. Hey, okay, so we had that phone bank last week. What are some of the major questions that came in, the most asked?
Yeah, so what most folks asked was where they can find some assistance filling out their health insurance application. So what we were excited to share with them, and all the folks staffing that phone bank, were enrollment assisters. So these are folks in every county in our state. They are paid to give free and unbiased advice and help people walk through the process of health insurance. We know that's not on everybody's mind all day, every day, kind of like it is mine. So these folks are available around the state. You can access them at enrollnebraska.org/local, find a map of them there, or you can go to 211, which is United Way's referral service, to find the nearest enrollment assister closest to anywhere in the state.
Right. So that's question number one, is how do I enroll? Anyone coming in, price or anything like that?
Yeah, folks had good questions about how much it was going to cost this year. Will it still be affordable? What networks are available with our one insurance provider? And I will just say those things will change, and they have changed. So anybody who has signed up before should definitely go back and take a look at their options if they're looking for new coverage this year. If you've never looked before too, definitely go back and take a look, because prices have changed and those subsidies as well.
And that raises a question. If you were signed up last year and you were covered, and you don't want to make any changes, I mean, you're saying, I'm just going to stay where I am, nothing's changed in my life, you still covered, or do you have to sign up again?
Yeah, that is a situation for some folks. Last year, Aetna was a part of our health insurance marketplace. If you had an Aetna plan, you will automatically be switched over to a Medica plan at December 16th, which is the day after open enrollment closes. So you can just wait and get auto-enrolled, they call it, into those plans. But if you are in a Medica plan and you are happy with it, feel free to just sit and wait and get re-enrolled in that, or go back and see your options. Like I said, the prices have changed, the subsidy levels have changed, also the doctors and providers with the new CHI product have changed in the eastern part of Nebraska.
And the subsidies changed. Tell me a little bit more about those. Are those coming up enough to offset those premium rates?
Well, I got to chat with a lot of the enrollment assisters this afternoon, mm-hmm. and what I hear is that prices are really reasonable for folks who qualify for those subsidies. And so while we do know that some prices for the plans have gone up, those subsidies go up equally.
Okay. What's the biggest misconception? I know it's confusing for a lot of people. Do people go in, though, and have just completely a wrong idea about this?
Yeah, I was manning the phones for a second there today, and I got a couple calls from people who are just like, is the marketplace happening this year? It sounds like you're talking about health insurance. And so with all of the confusion, all of the news stories about changes in the marketplace, and who can blame them? There's confusion out there. So we are really excited to be on news programs like this, sharing the news about this, and clearing up just that misconception.
Yeah, and the assisters are free. I mean, there's no cost to contact you guys.
That's right. Yeah. So call that 211, go to enrollnebraska.org and find an enrollment assister. That it's free to help you walk through that process.
Just curious also, what do people have to have when they contact you? Do they have to have a bunch of paperwork?
Yeah, to enroll in health insurance coverage, it's like anything. You do need some things to inform how you, what you're going to be applying for. So the most important thing is Social Security card or some proof of identification. If you're a legal permanent resident, you're available to enroll in health insurance marketplace plans too. So make sure you have that. Number two, you're going to need your list of doctors and medications. You can search out which plans and networks offered by Medica are going to be serving those doctors and covering those medications. And then finally, what you need is some way to predict your annual income for 2018.
Okay.
So a W-2, a 1099, your taxes from last year. If you're self-employed, be sure to try to predict that for a year long and work your way backward to predict that monthly income. That's what you need for the website.
Sounds perfect. Eric Saviano, thanks very much, and best of luck as we go through these next few weeks.
Thank you, Rob.
You bet. Well, we'll be right back, but first a reminder, your comments are an important part of the show. You know, last week, we received several messages about the effort to get Father Edward Flanagan declared a saint, including this one comes from Michael Wolf. He wrote, "Believers in Jesus Christ are declared saints by God. See nearly every letter from Paul to churches in the Bible, to the saints and faithful brethren. No such thing as super Christians." Now, if you want to be heard, email your comments to news@ketv.com. Love hearing from you, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle. Well, this morning we've been talking about the Affordable Care Act and the health insurance marketplace. There are a few changes this year. The enrollment period is much shorter, it's just 45 days. Opened last week, only goes through December 15th. You can sign up on the website healthcare.gov, or you can call a number. It's 1-800-318-2596. If you live in Nebraska and want to find a trained assister, as you heard Eric Saviano say, they are free. You can contact Enroll Nebraska, or this is really simple, just call 211. We've posted those numbers and links along with the show online right now. It's at ketv.com. Just go to our homepage, click on the menu button, and look for Chronicles. That's simple. I'm Rob McCartney. Thanks for watching. We're going to see you back here next Sunday morning for KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle. Want to leave you, though, this morning with a look at the fall colors before all the trees lost their leaves. And a snapshot of autumn comes to us courtesy of our chief photojournalist, Scott Buer.